rage like real. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo. What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So today's video, I want to bring you guys this gun tight Y off week mini scheme in Madden 23. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn those post notifications on. So I am in the Eagles offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Eagles offensive playbook. Now, this formation is found in a lot of other playbooks. I believe the Chiefs have it and a couple others. So make sure you check your playbooks. But I just like it personally the best out of the Eagles playbook. And also shout out to the Eagles for making it to the Super Bowl. So that's kind of why I decided to do this this video, just because this can't be found in the Eagles playbook. So I was like, hey, this is found in the Eagles and the Chiefs playbook, so why not make a video on it? So let me know who you guys think is winning the Super Bowl. I really believe the Eagles are going to win. I don't believe they're going to let Patty win, especially after the controversial game that happened with the Chiefs. So if you didn't watch that, you kind of missed out because it was a pretty controversial game. But anyways, eBooks. So if you guys are ever interested in eBooks, I have about 15 different formations on my website. The link to that is in the description. And also CFL, if you're on PS4 and you're serious about wanting to do a CFL, please make sure you go through the free CFL, and it's going to be in the description as well. Allthingsmadden.com. Everything you need is on there. So anyways, without further ado, I want to get along with this video. So the reason why I chose this formation is for a couple reasons. So they have a really great RPO offense, and a lot of you guys love RPO formations, and to me this could be one of the top ones when it comes to RPOs, because you have a really good selection, and also you are in a regular 32 team playbook, so you have the ability to have other formations, because sometimes the best RPOs be in those alternate playbooks, but I really love these. So right here we got the RPO zone alert. We have the zone alert glance. Outside zone is actually pretty good in this formation. I'll show you that. And we have the Y lead option, which is a really great lead option play. It's one of the best ones in Madden with the lead options. The Y lead read options are one of the best ones now, because they have different ones in different playbooks, but this is one of the better ones, and I'll show you that here in a second. So really love these run plays. Now pass plays, they have a lot of great pass plays. The one I'm gonna showcase today is post wheel drag, but they also have flood, which can bomb some coverages as well, and they also have flanker spot, which you can create a nice little spot concept out of it. And yeah, so I really love to use those plays and alternate between those three passing plays when I use this offense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all the read option plays, show you how they fare, and then I'm gonna show you post wheel drag. So what I'm gonna do here is come out in outside zone. Now when you run this offense, you're gonna get all kind of formations. So you're gonna get some 3-3-5 normal, you're gonna get some 3-3-5 cub, you're gonna get some possibly dime depending on who you play, and you're gonna get dollar depending on who you play. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over dollar, and I left the starting defensive line in here so that way you guys can see. Is that the best they have? Is a 69 overall? Okay, here we go. So I left the starting offensive defensive line in here so you guys can kind of get good ideas for runs, how it fares against the run. And also most people are going to put athletic safeties at linebacker, so that's why we have Ford and Carpenter here. And then we have two good slot cornerbacks and speed all the way around, which if you guys are OG, you know that's why I use the Packers on here when I talk about stuff, because they are one of the best example teams to show you. Now, running this offense, you mainly want to have your two receivers to the wide side. So right here, that's why the ball's in the middle, so it kind of doesn't matter. But just kind of know you really want your two receivers to be to the wide side. It makes the offense run a little bit better, but it's not a necessity, all right? So remember, this is the outside zone. Now, what most people are going to do is they're going to pinch their whole entire defense when they come out in this kind of set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cursor right here on the cornerback, so that way you can see what happens on the defensive line. Now, remember, this is the outside zone, so just kind of watch how the outside zone plays. Notice how easily we can cut it back. Now, you're not always going to be able to cut it back like that. It literally just depends on what defense they're in. And keep in mind, this is the Eagles offensive line, so you guys know, they have two great offensive linemen right here, and they also have a decent tight end who can run block. So I mean, I know it's not the best example, but that's why I wanted to leave the starters in there. But I mean, you could expect to see similar. Now also, there are some times where you can take the ball and go outside too, and that's why I really love this outside zone play. It's really nice base run play to kind of set up everything. You might be wondering how it fares versus man coverage, so I'll kind of show you here. Because sometimes you guys want to find runs that can bust man coverage and make it tough, so I'm just kind of showing you. You can kind of tell we had a little wiggle room right there, and you can tell the blocks line up really well with this outside zone, so don't be afraid to use this particular outside zone. Now, next, I want to show you this lead option play, the one I've been gassing up. Now, what I want you to recognize is notice how there's nobody to read. That's because the defensive end is crashed down. So whenever you see this, just know most of the time you're going to want to keep the ball with your quarterback. Whenever you don't see an R, most of the time you're going to be able to keep it with the quarterback. And also, you really want to run this with somebody who has fast break so you can actually get out of there a little faster. I believe Jalen Hurts has it. But normally when you run the lead option style play, you want to make sure you utilize that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to press. And I'll probably get on this backside corner just so you guys can see for the lead option. So here we go right here, lead option. And now notice how we have the R, which means that we're going to make a read on him. And then at that point, we're going to be able to keep it. And it just depends on who they have at end. Obviously, he's just really slow. Zadarius Smith, well, you know, Jalen Hurts is a lot faster than him. So, you know, that's just kind of how that goes right there. Now, last thing I'll show you is versus man coverage. And again, I'm going to kind of speed through these run plays. You guys should know how to run the ball. It's nothing really rocket science behind it. It works really well versus man coverage, you can tell, as long as you have blocking receivers, all right? So as long as you have blocking receivers, you're going to be fine. And as long as the user doesn't come and, you know, play the quarterback themselves, you'll normally be fine. So, again, just kind of wanted to show you that. Now, these RPO zone alerts, so the glance and the Omaha, they both work similar. But to be honest, my favorite one to run is the Omaha, because the glance, I don't really like ever throwing this slant right here with this post. I don't ever throw that. So if I was you, I don't ever throw circle or square because they don't do a great job. I just like to actually just hand it off and just look to get more yards. Now, obviously, if they're putting nobody at all in the hard flats, you know, or the flat area, if they have nobody, then yeah, throw it. But 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work well. And I'll show you right here with square. It's just, you know, they just don't do a great job. So notice how just nobody touches 29. That's normally how it is in a game. So just trust me, it's not as good as you think. Now, even with man coverage, it's the same way. It's just, I just personally don't like it. That's all. So just notice how right here we go to square, and then, you know, we almost throw a pick. So I don't like throwing that. If you're going to run it, literally just hand it off every single time. And if they have an athletic player at D tackle, go ahead and double team that guy. And then we're going to be able to kind of turn it up and get a little bit more extra yards. So again, I'm taking my time with these run plays because you need to understand that you need to run the ball first before anything. All right. So don't come out here trying to throw the ball all the time. Literally, you want to run. Now, this play is the exact same. The Omaha one is the exact same as the other one, except for now, circle has a speed out route. And I actually love throwing these speed out routes, so I'll kind of show you right here. Notice how we're able to throw that on a dime. And most of the time in game, you're going to be able to throw that. The only time you'll throw a pick is if they have a hard flat. So be careful that there's no hard flat. But that purple will never get there unless they're zone dropping them at 0. That is the only way that you might throw a pick. Or if it's like a cover 2. If it's a cover 2 or a match coverage or man coverage, you'll throw a pick. But any cover 3, cover 4 style defenses, you'll have it. So I'll show you right here, cover 4 drop, just to keep everything consistent so you can know personally what you can and can't throw. So watch circle right here, and it's a little closer just because it is Jeer, but you know, it's there. If they're playing off coverage, that's when I would try it. I wouldn't really trust it pressed, but that's just me. You could definitely throw it. You see me throw it about 5-6 times, and just notice how you can kind of get a secure catch animation, you know, possession catch. Gain you about easy 5 yards, man. You know, drive down the field easily with that. All right, so got all the run plays out the way. So there's 2 setups I want to give you when it comes to the passing concepts out of this. So one's going to be versus every single coverage for zone, and the other is going to be versus cover 2 specifically. And then I'll give you a man coverage one. So we'll do 3. Yeah, we'll say 3 setups. All right, so the first setup versus any single zone besides cover 2. You want to take circle, put them on a streak. You want to take triangle, put them on a hitch. And you want to take X, put them on a flat route. So I love to run it just like this. And what I'm going to do is spy this guy right here so I can have time. Oh, no, wrong person. Let's go back to cover 3. I meant to spy this guy right here just so I can have a tiny bit of time in the pocket, because I don't want to have to keep running this play over and over again. So your first read's always going to be triangle, and then you want to come back late and hit square. Now, normally it's not that far of a throw. That all depends on who you have at quarterback is going to determine, you know, how much that velocity is on the ball. And also, if you want this to be an easier throw, you could just keep rolling out, and then it's going to basically throw it more downward. But worst case scenario, if you don't, then you can tell we have all this room. They have to zone drop or use it at themselves. And if they're on this user right here, they have to run with it. But look what they're giving up right here. And if they're on this user on the hook zone, they have to cover this. And then we'll have this nice high-low read, depending on if they want to try to attempt to zone drop that or not. So really, really love that concept right there versus cover 3. Now, versus cover 4 drop is going to be the same exact thing. I'll go ahead and press 2, so in case you might think it matters if we press or not. So again, that circle on the streak, triangle on the hitch, X on the flat route, and then I'm going to double team this in because you have to kind of get outside the pocket. You don't need to scramble out, but you want to be able to get outside the pocket. It's right there. I am under pressure, and that is the only thing. If you're worried about being under pressure, there is something that you can do, but I wouldn't do it versus cover 4 drop, and I'll show you here. So if you want this route to be ran a little bit faster, I'm gonna just spy that in. There we go. Well, I'm gonna double team that in. So if you want this ball to get out there faster, then there's something you can do, but you're gonna kind of run a risk. So you're gonna take triangle and smart route as route. So notice how it's ran a little bit skinnier now. So here's normal, and here's what it smart route is. So he's gonna get out his break faster, but the bad thing about that is that you have to drift out the pocket, because if you don't drift out the pocket, you're probably going to throw a pick. But versus cover 4 drop, you're going to have to throw that downward pass right there. And remember, that is smart router. So that was to show you right there that you can do it, but you just need to make sure you're able to get outside the pocket. That is extremely important. You don't need to roll out the pocket, all right? You don't need to run, take off. You just need to drift out in the pocket. Notice I could have been through this ball right about now. I could have been through it, but I was holding it just to show you, if you wanted to try to get a sideline pass. And also still, you can tell we have this guy right here. If we wanted him, we'll actually do a great job right there. They actually do a great job of normally covering that. So the reason I like this play too, I should mention this, is if you don't have your initial read, so for some reason your opponent takes away your read, like the post route, if for some reason they take that away and some reason this hitch is covered, because this hitch can be covered, they just need to play a hard flat, like shade down underneath coverage, and that hook zone will play it. But if you see any of that, what you can do is actually just playmaker. So let's say square is covered, right? So I can actually grab him, playmaker, I'm inside, and I can dump that ball inside. But practice mode makes it real hard to do those type of things. So I won't be able to show you practice mode, because they just, the pursuit is just relentless in practice mode. Look at this man fight. Look, he got knocked down and ended up getting right back up, and then just basically made the sack. But anyways, under normal circumstances, what I was trying to get you to understand is that a lot of times you'll be able to playmaker this guy back inside, and you'll be able to get a nice dot. Or if the user is being aggressive on this side, if he's using it on this side and he play like a hard flat or something to where this guy comes down to cover it, you can always drift out the pocket this way and grab him and playmaker him up. So you have literally two options that you always have, so you should never be completely covered on this play if they're running zone. Now, moving forward, cover 2. All right, so I'm going to show you why we need a different setup for cover 2. So the reason we need a different setup for cover 2, so let's go here and show you this one. And I'm not going to smart route it, but I'm going to try to hold off as long as I can. So I'm going to show you why we need a different setup. So you can tell right there, that's literally why we need a different setup, because the mid read is running with our main read, and we don't want that, okay? We don't want nobody running with our main read. So what we can do is technically you want to be to the wide side of the field, so you want your two receivers to be there, but I'm going to show you that it's not necessary, it's just preferred. So versus cover 2, you want to take X, put them on a streak. You want to motion X across. Now I'm going to send that vertical hook back on the other side, just because most people will do that. Now from here, you want to take circle, put them on a drag, and lastly you want to take R1 and put them on a curl route right here. So what you're going to read, your first read is going to be between triangle, then R1, then circle. And you also, if you want to roll out to the right side of the field, you can, because you can potentially have square, because square can get over the top of cloud. So I know that's a lot that I just said, but you're going to see it kind of here. So look at circle, then R1, of course we could playmaker that. I wasn't going to try to roll out and store the ball all the way, but we're going to take a look at replay. I didn't throw anything for a reason, because I want to run through this video. I know this has already kind of been too long, so I want to go ahead and get this for you. So the reason this works is because if they don't zone drop, the CPU's cloud flat is taught to follow this route right here, to get man matched onto it. That's how they're taught. So we exploit that by putting this drag route, because what this drag is going to do, the vertical hook can't play it like they want to because something is in its area. So that's why he's going to kind of get glitched out right here. Notice how he's kind of glitching out. But you want to wait for him to clear this vertical hook, and you'll be able to throw this ball on the sideline. This is why I said you want to run this to the wide side, because you don't really have room to make anything work out here. You definitely can, but you want to give yourself more room, that's all. And also, this running back curl route is going to be wide open, so the user has to choose between this route and this route. And if they zone drop a lot of times, they have to zone drop to guard this or put a hard flat. So we have other plays if they want to put a double Mabel cover 2. We have ways to beat that, but this post right here is really cool because it can get in a nice spot. So I'm going to set up the same setup, but I want to show you the post route this time. I hope you guys appreciate these longer videos. I'm not sure. I know my channel hasn't been doing too good lately, so I'm trying to do new things, man. Keep you guys entertained, you know, give you guys some great setups. So anyways, I want to show you this again. So if the user starts being aggressive and starts going to this left side of the field when you run this concept, then what I like to do is have this post, and I'll sit in the middle, then I'll drift this way. Jesus, look at that pressure. But y'all see him, right? Y'all seen square getting open. You could definitely throw that. So just to show you that you can throw that, I really want to just spy everybody real quick, because well, we'll rush one person to make sure the CPU doesn't do anything dumb. But I just literally want to show you that you can throw this post right. That's all. You don't need this much time in the game. You'll be able to create more time, but just in practice mode for all Madden, having a starter defensive line is just really tough to show you. But that's what I was trying to explain to you, is that he'll run straight past that cover 2 safety, and you'll be able to just throw a real dot on the sideline. That's a real throw you can make versus cover 2. So last thing I want to talk about in today's video is man coverage. All right, so man coverage is pretty simple with this play. All you want to do, well, there's a couple things I like to do. So either I like to take triangle, put them on a drag, and I'll have a double drag with the in route and a post route concept, right? So you have plenty of things to beat man. Or I like to take triangle and put them on a slant. So those are my 2 favorite things to do. And this right here is probably my #1 favorite if I was talking about man coverage, because you want to read X to triangle to circle, and then of course if you have time you want to peep square, because square, as long as that man is better than who's guarding him, you'll be able to throw a nice dot on the sideline. So for example, who's this right here? AJ, no, this is Devontae Smith right here. So notice how Stokes is going to be able to keep up with him. So really you just want whoever your best route runner is needs to go right here, because when he runs this route right here with that stick in the ground, he's going to get separation if that's your best route runner. And then you want to be able to throw a pass right here to the sideline. But again, you want to read drag to slant to in route and then post concept. Now, last man coverage last man coverage setup that I want to give you is this one right here. So what we want to do is I like to take triangle. I'll still put them on a slant. Let me see which one I want to give you. Okay, so one of them I like to take circle, put them on out route, smart route is out route, and I like to motion over the slant, and now I have basically a read between circle on the out route, the slant, and then the post. So if that makes sense, but just look how squares got beat up. You know, that's why I said you got to be careful with that square route. You really need your best route runner there. So if I had AJ Brown in, I would just put AJ Brown in right here. But just look how he just kind of get beat up, man. That's really practice mode. That really don't happen like that in the game, unless they just have, you know, unless you just have a crazy matchup. But anyways, you get the point what I was trying to explain to you. So I like to read this drag first, and then if they don't drop their purples right, then you can actually throw this slant right here on the sideline. So you're just giving the user a lot. And if you have a good matchup, sometimes what he'll do is he'll stick his foot in the ground and he'll get in front of him. He'll auto get in front of him, and you'll be able to hit that post like right out the break sometimes, where those safeties have no chance of getting there. You wouldn't want to lead it here. It'd be like a possession catch like up in here. That's if you get separation. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video though. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.